The number 2 team is the Phoenix Suns for me. I think this Suns team is just going to be impossible to stop on offense. I actually don't see a way that it's going to work. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul as your 3 guys that can score on pull-ups from 25 feet and in. They can all shoot off the catch. They can all shoot off the dribble. They are all elite at getting to the exact spot that they want. Man, the fact that defenses have to find a way to guard all 3 of those guys, that's what feels impossible to me. Like, instead of Devin Booker getting the best defender night after night after night, like he's gotten for years upon years in Phoenix, he's now getting the second best defender night after night. That trickle-down effect for Kevin Durant is real, as I talked about on the show that I did when the Kevin Durant deal occurred originally. The trickle-down effect with Kevin Durant helping his teammates get better is very real. He's not seen as a guy that's like a super high-level passer playmaker, but he is seen as a guy that, because of the attention he draws, it makes things so much easier for everybody else on the roster. Man, that team's going to be hard to stop.
I agree. And everyone in the East is happy that Kevin Durant got the hell out of there because no one wanted to see him in the postseason anyway. So, yeah, offensively, that team is going to be crazy. And the trickle-down effect goes all the way to CP3 as well. If he's your 3rd best player, all of a sudden you're feeling pretty good because you're concerned about like the head-to-scoring stuff. And, we've seen Mikal Bridges and he's gone off at least in just a couple of games we've seen in Brooklyn. So could he have brought more to the table offensively? Potentially. But if you look at the Clippers and you're like, okay, well, we get stagnant because we've got Paul George and we've got Kawhi Leonard. In Phoenix, first of all, we've seen Kevin Durant work in Golden State. So you're not all that worried about that kind of stuff anyway. But now you've got Chris Paul, who he had 18, 19 assists the other night. Like, how much fun is Chris Paul going to have playing with these 2 guys in this offense? It's going to be crazy. And then DeAndre Ayton's probably going to be throwing down lobs left, right, and center because everyone's so concerned about Durant and Booker on the wings. So offensively, I can't wait to see it. I agree with you.
DeAndre Ayton should be able to walk in to 18 points a night, just running in transition and catching lobs. It just like literally run hard to the rim every time. That's it. If DeAndre does that, he's going to walk into 18 points and 10 rebounds a night with this team because there's just no attention on him now. There is zero attention. Okay, let's say he runs hard to the rim. Defense has to collapse. Wide open Kevin Durant 3, maybe a wide open Devin Booker 3, if you have them on the same side of where the help has to come from. That's the ball game. Like that's kind of what it comes down to. Like if DeAndre Ayton is just willing to run hard to the rim every time, he's either going to be wide open for a lob because he can high point the ball better than anybody, he's stronger than everybody, or he is just going to, be wide open at the rim or create a shot for his teammates. It's pretty simple. Like basketball can be a simple game when you have Chris Paul running ball screens next to Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And oh, by the way, if that ball screen action doesn't work, we'll just throw the ball to Kevin Durant in the mid post. He's shooting 60% from the mid range this year. He's shooting 60% from the mid range. It's a fucking layup for him. It's unbelievable. I don't think we have ever seen an offense that has this much playoff potential since that Warriors team, since that Kevin Durant Warriors team, with all of the spacing with Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry, with Kevin Durant. This team's going to be almost impossible to stop, I think.
So why can't they win it? Health, obviously people who have concern, you need to see it. In theory, this is awesome. The only question I have for you is in terms of so Ayton is obviously in their best 5. Let's just say they want to go small, as most teams do. Who you have in that 5 for Phoenix?
You go Chris Paul, Devin Booker, maybe Terrence Ross with Kevin Durant and Torrey Craig, or Josh Okogie instead of Terrence Ross. If you want to go like super perimeter defense with, Kevin Durant's had a really great defensive year. I've talked about that a lot on the show. I think he's been terrific this year. Okogie has been pretty good leading into the All-Star break. Torrey Craig is a good defender. I think that they can make it work in that
Mhm.
way. But here's the other thing too, like DeAndre Ayton gives them the size that they need to match up against guys like Nikola Jokic, who, if you remember, the last time those two played in the playoffs, DeAndre Ayton weirdly won that battle. Like DeAndre Ayton like outplayed Nikola Jokic in a playoff series. I don't know how that happened, but he did. And it was like the strangest thing I think I can remember, the year that the Suns made the finals, but it did happen. And at the very least, if DeAndre Ayton can slow down Nikola Jokic, they win that series. Like I think they win that series pretty easily.